go from that to another hot mess, but one in real life. Um, and on the
Also kind
other
of
side of
related.
the comic
Yeah.
coin, Ezra Miller. So Ezra Miller, the star of Flash, or the actor portraying Flash, we talked about him a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
Um, because law trouble with the
Yes.
law,
Yes.
going into getting thrown, assaulting someone, singing karaoke,
Mhm.
getting thrown out, then
Mhm.
going into someone's place that he'd been, I think, staying with or whatever, shouting at them, saying, I'm going to murder you, or I'm going to bury you and your slut wife, stealing of
God.
passports
Yeah.
and money and stuff. Um, and now he was at a party and people told him to leave. He didn't want to and threw a chair at someone, hitting her in the head, leaving a gash in her forehead.
Mhm.
So he's been like called. The police have been called in regards to Ezra Miller, like multiple times within a 3 week span here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
he's like just on the loose, and he just keeps getting out right away. I don't know if he's actually seen the inside of a jail cell yet or not. Just like he's just like does the paperwork, and before they're done with it, he's out. So
It's because he throws chairs at them all.
so the
They're
two
all
things,
friends now. "Hey,
yeah,
guys.
the
What's
couple of things
up?"
with this, obviously, I mean, if you have any thoughts, we have all kinds of celebrity craziness from slaps at the Oscars to this to something we're going to talk about in a little bit, maybe.
Mhm.
Um, it. What do you think there? And then also, what is DC going to do with them? What is Warner
Yeah.
Brothers going to do with them?
So I know, on the heels of these stories, there have been several stories, of course, about DC having several emergency meetings about what to do. Nothing official has come of these meetings, which I'm kind of disappointed about. Like, how hard is it to make up your mind after this, like, you know, multiple arrest binge in the course of like 2 weeks? Like, drop Ezra or don't. I mean, that's literally the decision you're facing, and this is either your limit or it isn't, and you have to live with the fact that Ezra could continue to be displaying this kind of behavior and getting in this kind of trouble because clearly they haven't been phased by this, you know?
Well, without any actual punishment, you're not going to be.
Exactly. So you have to be aware that if you're deciding to continue, a relationship with Ezra Miller, this kind of thing will be happening on the regular, I imagine. There's no consequence, so why would they stop?
Mhm. What do
Well,
you? What's the studio do, Tony? What do they do?
well, I think it's a there's two sides to this, right? I mean, there's two sides to every story, but there's definitely two sides to this. I think one side of this is the glaring toxicity of life in Hollywood, right? I mean, these are you look at people who have no ramifications from their actions, or they're
Sure.
they're told that, and they're kind of kept in this bubble of, yes, everything you do is great, and you're always going to be great, so go do whatever you want to do. And it kind of leads to this you know continued, like you were saying, this is not going to stop, this behavior. This is not going to stop at all. And these are obviously, there are chemicals involved in these situations that are probably leading to these
What?
outcomes. Um, but on the other hand, the studios, like you said, you got to make that decision. Listen, this is a product of the environment that you put this person in. So
Mhm.
one, you need to make a decision of whether or not you're actually going to cut this person out, and then
Mhm.
two, if it happens with another person, something else has got to change here. It's either, let's look into, what are we, what type of people are we hiring? Are we providing an environment that feeds this type of
Right.
personality, this type of issue? I think it's kind of like I said, multiple different sides here. But
Mhm.
obviously, something's got to be done. I think the studio
Mhm.
has to say something or do something, whether they
Yeah,
pull him out, put him in probation, do whatever.
it's just looking awkward that they haven't. Like, I'm not saying I know what the decision is, but you have to say something.
Well, people get fired for less. I've seen other Marvel and DC and Disney actors and actresses get let go for
For way
less than
less.
this.
Way less. I agree.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound mean, but it's the Flash.
But they're kind of hinging a lot on this potentially. I think that's where the dilemma, or one of the aspects of the dilemma comes in, because yeah, if you just like, well, cut them out, that's it. Then what happens to this movie that's coming up? That's supposed to be a multiverse thing, shows other flashes. We have Michael Keaton coming back. Like this
Grab
movie
another
is,
Flash.
but
You got to
I
do what
mean,
the studio did with Back to the Future Part 2 when what's his face? Marty's dad wouldn't
Mm.
come back to do the filming for the second movie, so they just took an actor that looked like him and turned him upside down and had him float with back problems through the scene. Remember that in Back to the
no, I
Future
Yes.
don't.
Part 2?
Yes.
Funny, but it's the
It's
movie's
not
like done.
impossible.
I mean,
Well,
I know they
they
delayed
can,
it
they
and
can't
there's
they
probably
can't do anything
reshoots.
about that, sure, but they can do anything they want to about future movies.
Yeah, but see what how does that go then? You can't be like, okay, Ezra Miller's gone. By the way, in 6 months, come see the Flash as we like introduce the multiverse, and they can, but they'll lose so much money doing that.
But
Like,
what are they gonna will they lose money by people being, I mean, it's the gamble. Like, you could lose money
yeah,
by people being disgusted that they've continued their
yeah.
relationship with this kind of person and be like, I'm not going to see that. Or, I mean, they could lose money by just pulling everything, or they could lose money by, pulling their relationship with Ezra Miller but still releasing it sucks all ways. What sucks the least?
Yeah. Yeah.
It, I would actually prefer if they were that worried about it. I would prefer that the studio come out and say Ezra has had some issues. We're pulling him into meetings to kind of discuss, how we can get through this together. What does he need to, deal with
Mhm.
some of this? I mean, at least it shows that they're being proactive at like
Right,
addressing
try.
that they know it. Yeah,
Try.
give a crap.
Right, exactly. Like,
Yeah, the
yeah,
silence is strange.
the silence is deafening. It's just, take a stand, whatever it might be, or, just show that you tried. I mean,
Well,
maybe they're reaching out and Ezra's not receptive, and
True. Yeah.
fine, but at least say that then.
mhm.
Say you tried. Then it really is on them.
Yeah.
And
Put the
Ezra
onus back
can
on
be
Ezra.
right, exactly. And then, you have some maybe things to say about, this is why we severed our relationship.
So
We
the other
tried.
other aspect is, like Tony, you said you had to look up who this was. You
Mhm.
forgot like who Ezra Miller is. So how many people really know who Ezra Miller is and really know about these stories? Like, will this actually affect? I understand in the Twitter sphere, and like if you read this tabloids and stuff like that, like there is you'll the news will be there. It's
Mhm.
but your average moviegoer, like I don't know, ask your family members, hey, there's a Flash movie going to be coming out. Do you know who the Flash is? Have you heard about the actor in real life? I bet a lot of people have no idea. So I
Possibly.
understand from a perspective of like people that are aware, hey, Warner, why aren't you saying something? But on the other hand, I can see them being like, most people have no idea about this. Why should we say anything until we have something figured out? Because like,
Yeah,
we don't want to
I
have this
just
person on the press trail,
yeah. I
and
just even feel like saying, like, we're trying to figure some stuff out.
mhm.
Like, it's,
Well, if you
totally understandable.
Yeah.
Like any one of us in this situation, we each of us have put forth like ideas, but we have no idea what's the right decision.
Yeah.
But even if they just said, "We're trying to figure this out. This is a surprise. It's awful what's happened. Please bear with us as we take a minute to think about it."
Mhm.
How hard
What
is
about
Yeah.
that?
the other side of it though too, where let's say they don't address this and they have Ezra come back and they want to do another movie with Gal Gadot or Henry Cavill or uh, Ben Affleck, right? And they want to introduce the Flash and Batman or something like, and they this behavior continues or gets worse, and all
Right.
of a sudden you're left with those three A-list actors and actresses being like, no,
I don't
I
want
don't
to
want to,
work with
I don't
Ezra.
want to work
Yeah.
with Ezra. And then Ezra, I mean, obviously that when that point happens, you kind of see. I think you're going to see what happens to every star that gets into the position where no one wants to work with them. They implode, and it
Mhm.
gets 10 to 100 times worse.
Worse. Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I think the big question it comes down to what are they gonna do with the upcoming film? That's
Mhm.
the biggest conundrum. What are you gonna do with that? If it's not like it was just in pre-production.
Yeah, I was just
Going
gonna say
forward, I feel
the
like
Fantastic
the
Beasts got away with it because it was like, "Whoop, it's already here."
Yep,
Movie's
yep.
already basically out, so can't really pull it